it is good for Norwich. And we clipped out Norwich from the last bit to say what an excellent window they're having. And they've done literally this morning, Jeff Schlupp, who famously, he was with Leicester, wasn't he? He was a Premier League winner, wasn't he, with Leicester, and he's been up with Palace. He's only 32, actually. He seems to have been around forever and a day, doesn't he? And sometimes you just want to, you spoke about Ashley Young earlier, you just want to bring experience and standards and leadership into your squad and some older players who can still do it. Jeff Schlupp would be that. We've already spoken about Grimshaw and Darling and Medic and Kovacevic and Wright and Kvistgarden. That's very, very exciting up the top end of the pitch. And the really interesting one is it's being reported now that the deal for Josh Sargent, which was it Werder Bremen in Germany? No, Wolfsburg? I can't remember. He'd been in Germany before Sargent, hadn't he? But that was the big link, and we've all kind of said, oh, well, it'll be Sargent going out. Sainz has already gone. Maybe Nunes as well. But Sargent is still there, and I don't know, is there a universe they do all of these deals and they actually manage to keep hold of him? I don't know whether they can do that with the PRS, but we'll see. Did I say PR? I keep saying that. That's the Performing Rights Society. PSR. Sorry. I think I might have said that earlier in the video. PSR. If anyone's come for me in the comments, I've corrected myself there. So stand down, pedants in the comments. All these bloody acronyms. Yeah, PDG, pretty damn good, is an acronym for Norwich's transfer window. And this lad Diallo, is it Pape Diallo, who we thought was going to go into Watford, who we're about to speak about, looks like, and that's another 3-4. Surely they're going to sell Sargent Norwich. They're going to do another 4 million quid on a winger as well. But it's very exciting what's happening at Norwich. And I always think it's good when you have a new manager come in, wipe the slate clean, give them some players, don't do too many, but the messaging's going to change to the existing players and the pattern of plays going to change anyway. So if ever there is a time to have a big, busy transfer window, then maybe it is the one where you change the manager to. You tell me, but yeah, Norwich continue to have an enjoyable transfer window. Well, you tell me, Norwich fans, actually, it all looks good, and I'm sure you're all very happy now. Are you going to be happy if it all ends with, right, there goes Sargent and there goes Nunes, or just there goes Sargent? I suspect that would still be a net positive, wouldn't it, if the numbers all kind of add up. So, yeah, fair play, Norwich. And it says with the Johnny Rowe back end to deal to Marseille that, and Sainz as well, that there's still a load of money come in. So, could they? Could they keep Sargent? Yeah, we will find out. Finally, Watford. I don't want to get excited about Watford because the owners do silly stuff and let me down if I do. But there's a couple of nice ones in here. Nestori Irankunda, who it all sounds very exotic, but I believe he's an Aussie international, and they've bought him from no less than Bayern Munich. However, I think it says FC Bayern 2. So I don't think he was anywhere near the first team. But again, elite clubs. And I did look, he's only 19. And he'd already played like 60 games in Oz as well. And scored a fairly decent amount of goals. It says right winger. I believe he was the fella modelling the Mr. Q shirt in the kit rankings video. So you can check that one out as well. But that sounds like a fun one. And we've always praised Watford, haven't we, for picking out Ismaila Sarr or a João Pedro. Everyone's, credits Brighton for doing amazing business on João Pedro. Where was he first? Is it Watford, wasn't he? And is it Pervis Estupiñán? Is he going somewhere big at the moment? So, Watford have had their own success stories with exotic named players. They've also had plenty of players that have come in from Udinese. And look, this one's going to wind people up, isn't it? It's going to wind me up trying to say his name. Luka Kirumgaard, who scored loads of goals for OB Odense in Denmark. And you know what I'm about to say, who's been signed by Udinese and immediately loaned to Watford. And that really grinds people's gears. Obviously, we talk about multi-club ownership. And the Pozzos do say they're getting out of Udinese, but well, they've still got them. We've seen plenty of these deals through the years. I mean, the buy and immediately loan is one thing. I think that doesn't grind people's gears quite as much as... I can't remember who was the... was it Kayembe? Who's still there, where we thought the transfer fee might have been over market value, but, good luck proving that. But, yeah, Watford have got themselves a fella who's only 22 years old and who scored a load of goals in Denmark as well. And maybe they've avoided paying a transfer fee for him. So we'll see what comes out in the wash there. But having a pretty good window, Watford, we've already spoken about Marma, Baxter, Cipriano, Bola, Vivaldo, Semedo, also in from Udinese. So they've done plenty. By the way, we didn't speak. Milita Rajovic has gone out to Poland by the league. He's 25, Rajovic. Thought he was older than that. There you go. What do I know?